What's going on, YouTube? Good morning. Today is 1/28/2024. I want to talk a little bit about a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Babe. I like what he does. I like his channel. Yesterday he put out a very good video called something like, "Wow, another business closes forever." And in that video, he mentions something that I still think a lot of people don't understand. He mentions how he says the stock market is not tied to the economy. I agree with that. I think the economy has very little to do with the stock market in most cases now. It has to do with, injected liquidity. It has to do with, news. It has to do with, what people think the Fed, what the market thinks the Fed is going to do or not do. It has to do with tweets. It has to do with projections. Very little to do with the economy. Not like back in the Depression, where we were still on the gold standard and people were trading on ledger, on margin, on credit. Back then, that was very, very dangerous. It still is, but to the economy, it was very, very dangerous. Now our economy survives on debt. That's why when people say, the stock market's going to crash because the economy's bad, I don't think the two are connected. And I think it's a different time frame. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, just my opinion. Do your own research, form your own opinions. I did do a Rumble talking about this a little bit, but anyway, that Jeremiah Bay video came out yesterday, I think it was, maybe the day before. Good video, you should go check it out. And then he also says that very few Americans are in the stock market. I agree with that. He says, I think he said 1% to 2% maybe. I don't know that it's that low, but it's funny because we live in an era where information is at our fingertips. You want to know something, you can look it up pretty quickly. If you want to get educated on something, it's easier to do now than ever. And you can get in the stock market for $5, even less. And it amazes me that more people have not, done that. And it's not just a stock I'm talking about. It's it's doing something. People who don't have the mindset of oh wow, I got my first ounce of silver, or I got my first 10th ounce of platinum. Now I want my second, my third, my fourth, my fifth. Wow, I just saved my first $100. Now I want to save $200. People who don't have that mindset can't be helped because it's on them to adopt it. A couple examples. I know a guy who has come to me many times saying, the inflation's bad, the economy's bad, what do I do to protect myself? Well, watch my YouTube channel. I've known you for years. And then he'll say, okay, I get it. But that's where it stops. The same gentleman came to me and said, I want you to teach me how to invest. And this is how I test people now. Because I know most people aren't going to do anything. So I said, okay, I want you to open a brokerage account. And I will help you from there. And I gave him a couple options. And about 6 months later, I checked in and said, hey man, you opened that brokerage account? Nope, I don't know what that is. I don't know enough about it. I said, did you research it? Did you look into it? No, I can't help you. If you don't have the mentality that I had at 28 years old, and if I can do it, anybody can do it. If you want to talk about making mistakes, I've made almost every mistake that I think one can make, almost. And I learned. I changed. I got better. If I can do it, trust me. If this dummy can do it, you can do it. And that's why I'll test people now. Excuse me. I'll test people and I'll give them a little bit and I'll see what they do with it. And if they run with it, I'll say, maybe this person's serious. I should put some time into this. And it's not because I'm mean or cruel. It's because I've learned. I know people that have kids that cause a lot of stress between them and their spouse. They don't have the best partnership or marriage to begin with. And the kids misbehave all the time, and they're so poor they're putting their stuff into hawk at the pawn shop every month just to buy it back and pay the bills. And then they make the conscious choice and plan to have another child. Probably not the best decision when you're in that situation. I can't help you. People that I see all the time that somehow survive a $200, $300 catastrophe in their world, and then the next thing I know, they're out buying the new iPhone or the new Droid or concert tickets. I can't help them. And at the end of the day, these people are probably going to find themselves in a situation at one point or another where they're out on their butt. They've got nowhere to go. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to help them if they come here. Because I've tried to help them. I do help them. I tell them, watch my channels. And I give them the same advice in person. And if a person chooses not to follow it and do anything for themselves, I simply cannot feel sorry for them when those choices catch up with them. You know, back when I was talking about the bonds, they were sold in $10 increments. I no longer endorse them for reasons in the videos. But I would tell people, put $10 a week away. Make 7% on that. And now what I tell people is, put $10 a week away. Open an online savings account. Make 5%. How long does that take? Not very long. And then they'll say, what? I'm supposed to stick $10 in there and just wait for it to grow? No. It's like buying an ounce of silver. It's like buying an ounce of gold. It's like buying an ounce of platinum, whatever it is. You're going to put $10 a week in there, and then you're going to say, that was easier than I thought. I'm going to double that, put 20 a week in there. That's what I try to get across to these folks that I'm speaking of, and it just seems that so many people don't have that appetite, that hunger. You know, the more I have, the more I acquire, the smaller it feels. Because my appetite grows. My desires change. And, you know, I look at all this stuff here, yes, and I'm talking about platinum too. This is money. I cannot have enough money. I cannot have too much money. Now, I'm not going to do immoral things for it, but if I make sacrifices and don't do things in my life that I want to do on a whim, and other people aren't willing to do that, well, other people, as a result, should not be able to share the success someday and the fruits of that labor because they were not willing to make the sacrifice. I firmly believe that. We can all do something. We all have different situations. You know, we have different lives, we have different obligations, but everyone can do something. And I find that a lot of people that can do a fair amount of something tend to do nothing. And at the end of the day, that's their choice. And I'm going to support their decision by not allowing it to affect me. You know, I was once told, even though the world's screwed up, yours doesn't have to be. And that's a great way to look at it. You know, I will help those who truly want to be helped, with advice and guidance. But I'm going to, you know, a lot of people in my personal life now that have never made a step in the direction when they've asked for that assistance, they get a lot of, oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, I don't know. That's what they get now because time is a limited asset. It's a limited resource. And I don't want to waste it. So, anyway, if you get a chance to check out Jeremiah Babe's video, check that out. It's pretty good. I like his stuff. If you get a chance, check out my Rumble. Hit the follow over there. Hit the like. Drop a comment so I know you're there. And while you're here, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment. Tell me what you're doing to get ahead. Tell me if you've known a lot of these folks I talk about. Tell me if your heart bleeds for them, because I just don't have that energy anymore. Choices are choices. We all make them. And I think the results reflect that. You know, life, in my opinion, is 90% choice, if not more. And then there are circumstances that are beyond our control, and that I have sympathy for. Absolutely. Because that's just life. And life can be hard. Anyway, while you're here, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that comment button. And whatever you do, don't forget, keep stacking.